Hello, beautiful people. Let's talk about intention. Intention, whether it's in contracts or in relationship or with friendships or in any kind of agreement with another human being, and being really aware of what are the underlying intentions when you enter into a contract with somebody or an agreement or even just, in your daily life. So this has impacted me in the last 24 hours. I think it's been really eye-opening for me the last 24 hours, because I think as artists, sometimes when we get opportunities, and this is not an artist thing that I was entering into, but I think whenever we want something so much that we can sometimes overlook certain components of an agreement, of a relationship, of whatever you want to call it. And that we might not really be looking at someone's true intentions and any underhanded component, because the thing that is being agreed to on the other end seems to be really positive. But we aren't really understanding the contract that we're actually getting into. And I think whenever we allow ourselves to be taken advantage in that way, I think it really is a red flag. Whether, it seems like externally like a positive thing, the manner in which something is handled is underhanded. And I think that this is really present in the WGA and SAG strike. And I'd like to extrapolate it to that, because I think it really is so important for us as artists to stand in our power. And my friend said it in such a succinct way. It's about standing in sovereignty whenever we enter into any kind of agreement with somebody else, with a company or whatever it is, right? And I think that level of intention is so important. And I don't know if I'm being super clear at this moment. Maybe I'll do a part 2 at some point in the future. But whenever there's any kind of underhanded energy within a contract, you have to be careful. You have to stay in awareness. And I think that is huge, because sometimes ethics can be kind of undermined. Ethics, I go back to intention, and we feel it. We feel it in our body. And when I came back from this situation and I had a moment to myself, I realized that I had signed my name onto something and I hadn't read it. Because in the moment of, that excitement on all of this, that I was not standing in a full awareness of my actions. And whenever things like that happen, whenever, whether you're intoxicated, I wasn't, thank God in this case, whether you're intoxicated or just on this wave of excitement, I think you really need to be able to stand in full awareness of what you are agreeing to and the terms with which you are handling a contract. In this case, I'm talking about contracts, but this can really be extrapolated to so many things, whether it's relationships, whether it's whatever, but especially as artists, because so many times we are being asked to give away our power. And I really think the only way that we can really stand with, really ask for what we are deserving of, is to stand in full sovereignty and full awareness, both of other people's intentions, but also of our lack of awareness. And this has been such a teaching moment for myself. I don't want to really get into it because, in the grand scheme of things, it's not that important. But I think it highlighted something for me about always being fully aware when you're signing something, when you are entering into something. And energy doesn't lie, you know, whether you call it energy, a vibe, intention, your gut always knows. And I've been really lucky that my gut is also always been on point, you know, and it's been really interesting. This whole process has been really interesting. And it reminds me of that quote, you know, and I don't mean this literally, but sometimes the devil is dressed, you know, is a shiny component, right? He doesn't come dressed with like long fangs and like, you know, like, you know, in this scary mode. Sometimes the devil is in the details, yes, but the devil also kind of shows up as a thing that you want the most. And that could be anything, you know, whether that's, you know, stepping out of your comfort zone, whether that's, you know, enlightenment, whether that's money, whether that's, you know, that opportunity that, you know, like you've always dreamed of. So just always stand in awareness, because amazing things can happen in your life, and I hope they do, but always stand in awareness of like what you're agreeing to, and always make sure that you're fully in your power, that you're not being coerced, or, you know, that things, even when it's not to the extent of coercion, that sometimes people take advantage of a moment when you're not fully standing in full awareness, and then you have to, you know, you have to like clean that up. Yeah, that's my takeaway. I think intention is again, going back to the metaphor of the devil. I'm not talking about this literally, so just, you know, it's a metaphorical aspect. So you just have to fully stand in awareness, you know. I took contract law for 3 years in college, and I took entertainment law for about one of those years. Was it 3 years or maybe 2? It's been a while. But just always be aware. Just always be aware of what, you know. I think I'm really blessed in the aspect that I was able to go to a college that was more business oriented, and then I went on to train as an artist. And I'm always, you know, people have tried to take advantage of, you know, kind of like, I seem to be very sweet and all of that. But, you know, you have to be smart, and you have to stay on top of things. So, you know, blessings, and I hope like good things for all of you out there, and just stay in awareness, stay in sovereignty. Okay, bye, love you.